Hello everybody, Michael here for Tactica Imperialis. I've got another 40k Tactics video for you today, and I'm not going to work this one on my own. I've got, via Skype, I've got one of our club members. His name is Luke, he's a Necron player. Can you hear me? Yeah, he is there, I know he's there, he's just being quiet like a typical person. Anyway, this video is basically because we both played Necrons. I played them in the past, he's got my army now, so we're just going to discuss some basic Necron tactics for you guys and see what you guys think of them and what we would do with them and see how that translates to you. It's not going to be a codex analysis because we're not going to go unit by unit. I've done that already for the channel, but it's just going to be an opportunity to just discuss some general gameplay stuff. So I may as well start with HQs. Are there any HQs that you run particularly, Luke?
Usually just overlords and lords mostly. I've been wanting to run a destroyer lord, but I've never found the opportunity. I mean, I've recently bought Zandrak and Oberon, like I told you.
Yeah.
I haven't quite painted them yet.
Fair enough.
I might play them at some point.
How do you?
Expensive together.
How do you outfit your lords and overlords in terms of, do you go all out assault? Do you go survivability? How do you work them?
It depends how many points I've got, to be honest. But it's usually the standard sort of sempiternal weave, resurrection orb, mind shackle scarabs, obviously, because that's like the best thing ever.
Yeah, they say that.
And where's that just gone?
What have you lost?
Just dropped a warrior off my desk.
Yeah, I'm recording this with just my codex in front of me, and this guy's trying to paint and do a video at the same time. Sorry about that. But yeah, so Sempiternal Weave, Mind Shackle Scarabs, Resorb, War Scythe.
War Scythe, yes.
War Scythe. So 2+ save, Resorb for boosting RP, War Scythe for melee. Phase Shifter, which is a 3+ invulnerable. How often do you take that one?
Well, usually I haven't taken it that often so far, mostly just because you can't really fit it into 1,000 points. You
True.
just don't have the points for it.
Very true.
Because it's expensive. But I think I'd probably use it more if I had 1,500, just to make them invincible.
Yeah, that would make sense. Okay. I'm not going to ask what that was. Do you take Royal Courts? I know I've played you a couple of times. I know you take one Lord, but do you generally run more than that, or you run Cryptex at all? Do you see any value in Cryptex?
I haven't run any Cryptex so far. I mean, they've got some cool spells, but I don't know, they just seem a bit squishy. Yeah,
on a warrior profile that can happen. And then the age-old debate comes up. Obviously, Warriors and Immortals, that sort of, it depends on how many points you've got. But Gorse or Tesla is one of the debates that many Necron players have with their Immortals. They run Gorse Blasters or Tesla Carbines. So which do you mostly take?
Mostly Tesla. I suppose it depends on what I'm against, but I've only run Tesla so far.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense, because against me, against my guard, Tesla, more shots, more damage, but against Marines, obviously, AP4 on Gorse Blasters won't get through the armour. It depends, obviously. I know you're quite a fan of the Ghost Arc tactic, because your trick, it drives me insane. It's 10 warriors in front of a Ghost Arc with 10 more warriors in it. And that is 30 Gorse players basically pointed at you, and it is damn intimidating.
Especially the thing I like doing with the Ghost Arc is, with the 10 inside, I'd like to move it up so I'm within 12 inches and then just blast you with 30 rapid fire shots. I
know, it's bonkers. And the problem is when you assault the Ghost Arc, the passengers can overwatch because it's open topped. It's just it's unstoppable sometimes, and with quantum shielding of 4 hull points, it's incredibly difficult to put down. Anyway, I know you're still just getting started in buying your own gear. Obviously, you just inherited Warriors, Immortals, and Lich Guard from me. You've only used your Lich Guard once, and they ran into Storm Boys and got absolutely butchered. That was hilarious, I found. But do you see much value in the Elite section? Because a lot of people look at the Elites and think, nah, I'll move on, I might put my points in later.
I mean, I quite like the Triarch Stalker.
Yeah.
I don't actually have a model for it, but I quite like the look of it, and I've been wanting to play it. I've played it a few times, and it seems fairly useful.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I played it once against James and Ed, who was at our club before you joined, and the first turn, Vindicare Assassin popped my Triarch Stalker, then popped my Ghost Ark, then popped my Annihilation Barge. So it was just like, for crying out loud, give me a chance here. It was unbelievable. I never got a chance to use it. I never played it again because I just couldn't use it. I don't know why. What about Catan? Because obviously now 40k 6th edition is heralded as the age of the monstrous creature with the Riptide, the Wraith Knight, all the various Tyranids. Does the Catan still stack up? I mean, toughness 7, 4 wounds, but only a 4+ save and weapon skill 5. It's on the cusp.
What does Eternal Warrior do again?
Immune to instant death.
That's kind of pointless on toughness 7.
Against force weapons, though, it would stop it.
Well, yeah.
And obviously it's got all those powers, but they can stack up in points really fast.
Yeah, I mean, it's already 185 points base.
Yeah.
You have to take 2 of them.
Exactly. The minimum cost is just over 200. If you really splashed out, you're paying 280 for Gaze of Death and Transdimensional Thunderbolt, which is bonkers.
He is weapon skill 5, though. And ballistic skill 5.
That's kind of meh.
Well, weapon skill 5 isn't that good, but ballistic skill 5 is alright, especially on Pyre Shards or something like that.
Yeah, 8 shots, I suppose. And Strength and Toughness 7 is slightly above the average of 6 and 6 that you see on the Tyranids, but it's got less wounds and only a 4+ invulnerable save to rely on.
At least it's got a higher than 2 initiative.
Yeah, that's a nice change, I suppose. Because all Necrons are initiative 2, which is very problematic these days, because everything's just so damn fast. I know we had an argument about death marks, didn't we? That's one unit I wanted to touch upon, death marks.
Yeah, well, I think that apart from the high strength weapons you have, death marks are pretty much your only way of getting rid of monstrous creatures. They're just, I don't know.
I mean, rapid fire sniper's not bad, but I always seem to think because it's such a low AP, you'll only get the odd rending shot, and it's not going to do that much damage. I can see what you mean, though. I mean, Poison 4+ is pretty powerful.
And 2+ is on 1 unit, which is very nice.
Very true.
If you're trying to, say, get rid of, like, 1 Synapse creature against Tyranids or something like that.
Exactly. And then we come to fast attack. Cannot protect Wraiths. Everyone seems to see them as a shoe-in. There's a Death Star built around them with the Destroyer Lord. I know you were painting them up just before we started recording, so...
Yes.
Have you actually used them yet in-game? I can't remember.
Yeah, I've used them in 1 game, just after I bought them.
Yeah, they didn't make that much of an impact, though, did they? Actually.
Well, I don't know, they finished off 2 units of Space Marines.
True. I mean...
But my Ghost Ark did most of the work there anyway.
Very true. And you were playing with bases, so everyone forgot they were there.
Oh, right, yeah. So I've played them twice. I was thinking of my game I had against my other friend.
Ah, right, yeah, sorry, I forgot. I didn't realise that.
In our 2v2 game we had.
Yeah, it was me and... It was my guard and Luke's Necrons versus a Chaos and Space Wolves double team. It's even more weird than any others, and Luke only had them on bases. So the problem was nobody could see them and everyone forgot they were there, and he forgot they were there, so they didn't do half the damage they were supposed to do.
Well, I had a game against my other friend, David, when I first bought the models I'm painting now.
Okay.
And they finished off 2 units of Space Marines, which was quite nice.
Yeah, strength 6 rending, fair few attacks, they can do that. I can understand that. And then, obviously, there's the heavy support section. Most people will literally have a big marker drawn around the Annihilation Barge and not much else. I mean, I'm quite a fan of the Necron Monolith and the Doomsday Arc, but from a bit of gaming experience, do you see a value in those other heavy support units, or is it just me?
Well, the Annihilation Barge is nice. It's very cheap for what it is.
Yeah.
The Doomsday Arc, while the Doomsday Cannon is nice, it's just I can't really fit it.
175 points. Very expensive.
And you just sort of need the essentials, and so it's sort of an extraneous bit.
Yeah, I can see that. But once you get to 1500, you've got a bit of extraneous bits. And
yeah.
and then there's just the monolith. For a long time, the toughest tank out there. I don't know if it still is, what with the loss of the anti-lance and melter trick that he used to have in 3rd edition when this last book was done, but it's still pretty imposing, and it's a great cover shield, I find. And then there's the flyers. Doom Scythe and Night Scythe.
Yeah, I haven't. No one's let me play my flyers yet, which is.
I'll play it tomorrow, and I'll play my Vendetta, and you can bring that Night Scythe, and I'll shoot it down on turn 2. Just you watch.
If you say so.
Yeah, but the Doom Scythe, everyone says the Doom Scythe loses out completely to the Night Scythe. I can see why, because it's 75 points more expensive, no transport capacity, and all you get for it is the Death Ray.
Which, the Death Ray could be nice in some situations.
But it can't kill flyers, which is what flyers generally are designed to do, is kill the flyers, and the Death Ray can't do that.
No, it can't.
Then again, this was...
And if you do fire it that turn, I'm pretty sure it means you can't even fire your Tesla Destructor of flyers either.
No, you have to fire at the same target. I know that much. So, that's the whole book, really. Are there any general tactics that you would give to our viewers who play Necrons, just generally? Obviously, we can't speak for the huge scale games, but just for general skirmishes, 1,000 point, 1,500 point, what sort of tactics and builds would you advocate?
Well, like we said earlier, I love the Ghost Arc build, where you just put 10 warriors in a Ghost Arc and just move it about and blast things in the face.
Yeah, there's a variation on that. I think it's called the Silver Wall or something along that line, where it's basically squads of warriors, just lines of warriors with line of Ghost Arcs behind them, and it just moves up the board, replenishing itself. It's practically unstoppable, some people say.
Well, yeah, but I'm also quite a big fan of Immortals. They just don't die.
Yeah, there's clues in the name. They don't die. They're called Immortals for a reason. Yeah. And obviously, when it comes to your HQ, I know you usually put them in your Immortals, but is there a perfect bodyguard unit? Would you say Lich Guard or Royal Court, or are Immortals the best unit of choice?
I don't know, well, the problem with Lich Guard is just they're too expensive. I mean, there's only 5 of them there, so they're really easy to get running if you just kill 1 or 2 of them.
And they're slow. There's no real delivery system.
Yeah, unless the only legitimate way to play Lich Guard, I think, is just to put them in a Night Scythe.
Yeah.
And get them right in the enemy's face. But even then, you're putting them down, and then you've got like a turn of them firing at you.
Yeah, that's true. So, thank you for listening. Thank you for calling me or speaking to me, because obviously I haven't had anyone else really involved on the channel yet. I've been hoping to do this for a while with the others about their armies. So thank you for talking to me, and thank you to you who are watching this on YouTube for watching the video. I hope you found this video informative. Be sure to leave any comments if you want to see something like this again. Obviously, if this doesn't work for you or you can't hear him, then I'll try and adjust my volume settings or something, because this is the first try, so I'm going to see how it goes. Comments, as I say, be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, check out the playlist for more 40k tactics. Thank you for watching Tactica Imperialis. My name is Michael, and I will see you again.